Hello everyone, welcome back. So we're going over 3 different things in this video, so I'll try to keep it as short and sweet as possible. We're going to be going over how to create and organize and customize our Google Drive folders, quickly how to use OneNote and the different things you can do with that, and very briefly looking at the Schoology calendar. These are all things that your students will be expected to use in one or more of their classes, so it's important that we show it to them. So we're going to start off with their Google Drive folders, and the first thing they need to do is go to their Google Drive. I'm opening up a Chrome web browser, and I'm going to go ahead and go to google.com, and from there I click on the apps icon and I go to my drive. So this is the Google Drive. As you can see, once the page loads, I already have a lot of different folders and they are color coded for me in this area right here. Your students should be able to do the same exact thing if they have anything set up. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how to create a new folder, and to do that I'm going to click on the plus button up here that says new, and I'm going to click on folder. I'm going to give this folder a name. I'm going to call it test folder, and I'm going to go ahead and create that. It does go alphabetically, as you can see. It already appeared at the bottom here, and it automatically defaults to the gray option. If you start getting into Google Drive, and you'll notice that each folder has a little person on it, like these 2 folders right here, that means that those folders are shared with somebody. And if it doesn't have that, it means it's just your folder. To change the colors of the folders, I'm going to right click, and you get a whole lot of features that you can do. You can share the folder. You can also get a shareable link. You can move the folder within another folder. You can favorite it, and I'm going to go ahead and just change the color. I'm going to go ahead and pick a nice bright orange for this one, and there we go. That's how you create a folder and change the color of it. Now, once you start getting into your Google Docs or creating a Google Doc, you want to know how to stay organized. You can easily drag and drop things into folders from your Google Drive, or you can go into the Google Doc itself. I'm going to go ahead and click on that, and you can do this if you start a new document, and once everything loads on the Google Doc on the top, you will see a folder. And it says move to. When you click on that, you can decide what folder you want to do. So all of your folders are already there for you. I could go ahead and I could click on this test folder and move it there. I could also create a new folder from here if I so choose. So those are the different features that you can use with that and moving all your different items into different folders in Google. Okay, so now we're going to go over quickly OneNote and its different features. Now, I know that some teachers have different versions of OneNote depending on the Surface Pro issue that they have. I have the desktop application of OneNote, and the other version of it kind of looks like the online version. So I'm going to show you both very quickly. Just very quickly, this is what it looks like on the desktop version, but I'm going to go ahead and go to the online version just because I feel like that's what most of your students are going to see it as, and they can get to their online notebook by going to their OneDrive. So if they go to the MCS for Kids website and they go to student applications, they have to go to their Office 365. I'm going to go ahead and go to our staff version so I can log in and show you. And once they are on their Office 365, in order to create a new notebook, which they could just click OneNote right here, but that's just to access the notebook. To create a new notebook, they actually have to do it in their OneDrive. When they click on OneDrive, once it loads, they're going to wait for the new button to pop up, and when they're ready, they're going to go ahead and do a OneNote notebook, and they're going to go ahead and enter test notebook or whatever, English, science, history, whatever the case may be, and they're going to go ahead and create that. It's going to go ahead and open up that test notebook for me in OneNote, and here we go. So it already has a few things set up. I can see that I am in my test notebook. If I click on this option here, it's going to show me a list of all my previous notebooks or more notebooks if I want. And I'm going to go ahead and give each section or divider tab a name. by right-clicking and then renaming it. So I can name this period 1 if I wanted to. Click OK, and then I could call this notes, and that's fine. To add a new section, you go to the bottom of the page and you can add period 2, period 3. You could make this one whole notebook for each subject, history, biology, so on and so forth. And then each page notes for different pages and different things like that. There are other features. I can go ahead and click on that to make that go away. I can draw using my finger, my stylus, whatever I want to do. I just have to pick a color and I can go ahead and draw on whatever I want to draw on there. I can Control Z to, well, I guess I can't Control Z on that one. I can go ahead and click on the eraser to erase that. I can also just simply start typing wherever I want to start typing. I can also insert in pictures, a table, a file attachment, stickers, whatever I want to attach. I can go ahead and mess around with that. So you might want to give your students a little bit of time to just press some buttons and see what they can do with their OneNote, and realize that everything saves automatically in their OneNote. So they don't have to worry about saving anything, and it will sync. If I were to open up my desk icon, I'm going to go ahead and exit out of that. If I were to open up my desk icon and go to notebooks, if I go to all of my other notebooks, it would be there. If I go into OneDrive, I can go ahead and find that notebook, but that's going to take some time, so I'm not going to do that right now. Finally, the last thing we're going to get to is Schoology calendars. It's another way to just help your students stay organized. Now, there's 2 different ways that you can get to the calendar, and this is going to look pretty much exactly like your student's view, so it's okay that I'm just on my teacher view right here. You can click the calendar on the upcoming, or you can actually go ahead and click the calendar icon on the top bar. I'm going to go ahead and click the calendar icon there. The things that you want your students to know is that they have complete control over their calendar and they should be looking at it often. They are going to have a calendar for every course that they're in and for every group that they belong to. So they can check mark which groups that they want to see. They should obviously have all of their classes checked off and whatever the case may be, and a personal one. They can also color code these as well by clicking on the button that has the color on the side, and they can go ahead and click whatever color they want those to be, and you'll see that actually changed on my calendar because I have this color coded. So they're going to want to spend some time color coding their calendars to make it fun for themselves. They can also create an event on their own. So if their teacher is not going to tell them or insert that assignment on the calendar for them, or let's say they wanted to talk about a leadership meeting that they have and they wanted to add that, they just have to pick the day that that event is on. I'm going to go ahead and insert in leadership meeting. They only have to do an RSVP if they want people to respond to them. For the most part, that's not going to happen, so that's always disabled. And they can choose to have comments enabled. If it's just for their calendar, nobody's going to comment on it. Now, it automatically defaults to their own personal calendar, so they don't have to worry about that. They're going to go ahead and click create. There it is. It's in gray because that's my personal color for my own event. They could also choose to have this event span over a few days. So let's say summer camp, football practice, football camp. They can add an end time, and let's say that's going to end on August 3rd. Summer camp, it's again on that calendar that it needs to be on, create, and you see that it spans that whole thing. To delete, they actually have to view the item, not edit. They have to view it. It'll take them to this page where there's a gear icon, and they can go ahead and delete it, and then they delete it.